Gnome goes next and bodies the door open, all because he rolls a 19. Trying to convince the store owner to give us a discount. I roll so low that the store owner charges me an idiot tax. Hey, what's up everybody, Skittle Little the Riddle here. Welcome to another DnDGreentext video. How are you guys doing? Hope you're having a wonderful day today. Before jumping into today's video, I wanna quickly, kindly say a thank you for getting to 70,000 subscribers. Thank you so much, I really appreciate it. And it's insane how close we're getting to the 100,000 mark that I never expected to achieve, I guess. And if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, consider doing so now. It only takes a moment and you can undo it later if you change your mind. Thank you so much, and with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. I accidentally killed what was supposed to be a recurring villain. This is from a while ago, so a lot of the side details are lost, but here goes. Be me, Warlock in 3.5th edition. Be not me. I don't actually remember the rest of the party. We had just fought our way up to the top of a small tower where we encountered a drow assassin, though probably not using the actual assassin class, dual wielding crossbows. We got him down to unconscious and decided to interrogate him. We tied him up and then woke him for the interrogation, and as we started to question him, we hear a loud crack from his mouth and he slumps over. My warlock is furious, so he lugs the body to the edge of the tower and then up and over the crenellations. Not satisfied with just throwing him off the tower, he looks down at the body and uses Earthen Fist to create a fist out of the earth to crush him. We then hear a death scream and the DM tells us that it was just drow poison, he was only asleep, and that he was supposed to be a recurring villain. Whoops! Yeah, I don't really see what the party did wrong there. I mean, I don't know, I feel like the DM just was basically hoping for the best at the point where he decided to leave the bad guy unconscious and, you know, unable to defend himself in any way. Especially like when the party was trying to question him and get answers out of him and he was known to be a bad guy or something. I don't know, it just feels like a weird setup. Setup to fail from the start. Spelling is important. Enchanted item, the River Sword. +1 magical sword that drips water from the blade. Occasional drip, not a lot, and can change damage type from slashing to water elemental. Give this to the players early in the campaign to fight against the fire elemental. The fire elemental proceeds to curse the sword with its dying breath, causing it to become the Sword of the Damned, not the Sword of the Damned. I'm pretty sure they sound the same when I read them, so one is double M, one is MN, so they got the one with double M. It now does lightning elemental damage and causes the occasional spark due to hydroelectric power. That's pretty cool. Also, I don't know how much of a curse it is. Maybe the, occasional spark can hit teammates, I guess, but compared to other curses it could have had, that really doesn't seem like much. Anon never rolled high. Playing a DPS Cleric in 5th edition because I was bored and I wanted to play my Hospitaller build. Rolls are usually going well in combat, but for everything else, I'm rolling like a mentally disabled otter with the sugar shakes. Trying to find a trapdoor entrance and I'm rolling too poorly, so the DM has to find another player to help me. You see that he has been standing on the trapdoor the entire time. I go to kick open a door as the party is doing some kind of a drug bust or cops quest. I roll a 7 with a +5 to strength with advantage. You kick the door, but as your foot bounces off and receives 4 damage, you see that the door is stalwart in its fortitude. Jesus Christ, that's unlucky, but I don't know, maybe that's a bit too much from the DM. Gnome goes next and bodies the door open, all because he rolls a 19. Trying to convince the store owner to give us a discount. I roll so low that the store owner charges me an idiot tax. This is the kind of character that you end up feeling bad for in the end, or feeling sorry for. Jesus Christ. My players gave an NPC PTSD now. Be me, the DM. Be not me. Important, the Cleric, Druid, Bard and the Fighter. Not important, a Barbarian and the Sorcerer. Finishing up an encounter as the Cleric uses Hold Person on the last remaining enemy. Be me, happy to see that they aren't just killing everyone. The Fighter grapples the enemy. They start interrogating him and get some interesting rolls. They get some information out of him. Okay, cool. My face when they come up with the most insane strategy. My face when the Druid casts Detect Thoughts and starts delving deep into the NPC's mind. My face when the Cleric casts Guidance to help in the intelligence contested checks. My face when the Bard casts Bait on the NPC. My face when I succeed my saving throw, but then the Bard casts Silvery Barbs. My face when this repeats multiple times. My face when I have to come up with this NPC's entire backstory, including his family, his love life, and his education, because my players are breaking him to the core. My face when they threaten to kill his 85-year-old mom that he hasn't seen in 3 years. My face when my PCs have basically given this enemy PTSD. My face when my PCs have lots of fun interrogating this man for more than 1 hour IRL using the most insane tactics. Ah yes, isn't it great when the party are not just random murder hobos and, you know, killing everyone, and instead they're, I don't know, trauma hobos? Does that work? I think, maybe? And basically instead of killing them physically, they do so mentally and, you know, just give enemies forever lasting mental issues. Yeah, what a great party, what a great time. The Necromayor. TLDR, the Forever DM finally gets to play, rolls a pacifist Dr. Necromancer character, accidentally starts the bloodiest conflict in the country's history, and becomes annoyed. Athen, a land-owning magic-wielding physician on the outskirts of a powerful theocratic kingdom, joins an existing group of quote-unquote adventurers in order to generate much-needed support for the hamlet on his land, Blue Grove. Though punishable by execution, Athen has become a potent self-taught necromancer. Obviously, there's a bit of homebrew here, but he was a pacifist, so Athen ran things out of combat. Combat was conducted by Bertram, his undead valet and the man who essentially raised him Alfred style. Instead of cash, Athen gives up his monetary share in exchange for the party looking the other way when he raises the usable corpses of his enemies and sends them back to Blue Grove as laborers, servants, and soldiers. Obviously, a bit more homebrew, but it was a fun idea, and since they had no impact on the actual adventurers, the DM let me go wild. Over the course of a lengthy campaign, Blue Grove's mortal residents were outnumbered 6-1 and living lives of luxury, never lifting a finger if they didn't want to. God damn dude, that sounds nice. Do they accept immigrants? Can I travel to Blue Grove and just settle there? I don't even need a house, I'll build something, okay? It's fine. Athen, previously insulated from the world at large, grows to loathe the teachings and the church, growing increasingly convinced that the Messiah of this religion, who had died and resurrected Jesus style, was a fraud. Momentarily satisfied with the state of Blue Grove, Athen slowly pushed the party towards the holy city and the capital of the kingdom, with the intent on committing intense blasphemy. The necromancer looks at the capital with blasphemous intent. Unbeknownst to the rest of the party, Athen, now scheming with the DM, who had completely abandoned their original ideas for the campaign at this point, breaks into the Messiah's tomb and resurrects him, immediately sealing himself in the tomb with the bewildered and time-displaced Messiah. Interrogating him for hours, Athen finally emerges with the frightened Messiah, who immediately confesses that he was a fraud and nothing more but a bored necromancer who let things get out of hand 800 years prior. Capitalizing on the party's shock, Athen departed with the Messiah in tow. Arriving in the holy city, he marched the Messiah to the palace, with a large gathering amassing as he drove this people's Messiah shackled through the streets. Upon reaching their destination, the Messiah began his public confession to the hyper-religious people of the holy city. He was a fraud. Cue immediate mayhem as the party catches up to Athen and the Messiah. Escaping in the ensuing chaos, the Messiah disappeared into the thrashing crowd. Momentarily satisfied, Athen, Bertram, and the rest of the party quietly depart the city, immediately chastising Athen after a safe distance had been covered. Athen simply shrugged, explaining that he's happy now that he and Bertram, whom the party adores at this point, will be returning to Blue Grove to enjoy the fruits of their labors. There's a brief time skip, and Athen's early retirement is interrupted by a desperate messenger, followed by the arrival of one of his former travel companions, a mercurial femme fatale. She confirms what the messenger has just told him. Athen's forcing of the Messiah's public confession hadn't hobbled the pillars of a rather silly religion. In his efforts to expose a fraudulent Messiah of a phony religion that he deemed dumb on more than one occasion, he had himself become the fulcrum of a new massive following, and sparked a holy war in Athen's and the Messiah's opposing names. Annoyed by all of this, Athen departed the comfort of his estate once more, This time to attempt to end a massive civil war being fought for him for months before he was informed. Not because he minds a war raging, well, as long as Blue Grove is safe, but because he needs people to stop being so dumb, quote unquote. The Holy War itself would become our next big campaign, lasting a couple of years in real life and over a decade in the game. That was pretty nice, but I'm still more so interested in moving to Blue Grove. That sounds like such a nice city. And the mayor seems like a great guy, so. Dragon Relocation and Assistance Group Organization. Drago for short. Bimi, Orc Bard. Doing a one-shot and the party reaches a dragon's den. Everyone tries to sneak in to steal a parchment or whatever from the dragon. My face when I get a 1. The dragon wakes up and only sees me, an orc, dressed in the fluffiest clothes imaginable, maybe fluffiest, I don't know, tiptoeing on a stone that says alarm. The dragon asks me why I'm here after confirming he's not dreaming. Oh, I'm from Drago. Bluff is a clean 19. The dragon asks what Drago is. Somehow, make up the acronym Dragon Relocation and Assistance Group Organization. Explain to the dragon that he needs to move as he has received too many complaints from the locals.
And why should I care?
Says the dragon, who seems to be questioning reality. Because the uproar from the people might send other people or other dragons to attack you? Bluff is a solid 20. Dragon agrees with my logic, question mark, and I escort him out to survey the possible places that he could live. Players get the parchment. I'm panicking as I'm escorting a red dragon to a new home. The game ends on this anticlimactic note. No, that was a great story. The image of the dragon questioning reality is just hilarious in my mind. Come to the dark side. We have dad jokes. Bimi, Rage is Sith Warrior in a Star Wars D20 game. Be not me, fellow Sith Warriors, Trigger Happy Mandalorian and Hostile Netty Jedi, a 3-person. The battle has gone on for several rounds, with each of us landing hits on the Jedi. DM, you strike a grievous blow, but due to his plant-based physiology, the Jedi's expression barely changes. He seems to feel no pain. Me, out of character. I guess he's got a resting bitch face? The rest of the table groans while I cackle madly at my own joke. Sometime later, battle is at a fevered pitch, where one PC is unconscious and the party members are tied up fighting other enemies. About to go down with literally 0 health left when I roll a crit on the 3 Jedi with my lightsaber with max damage. Me, out of character. So, do I cut off a limb? DM. Not this again, that JPEG, Jesus. Well, I guess on that note, we're gonna end the video here. So thank you so much for watching, I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to smash the like button if you did, dislike if you didn't, subscribe for more content if you haven't already subscribed to the channel. Also, a big thank you to everyone supporting the channel on Patreon as well as here on YouTube, so thanks so much for that. Links below if you want to check those out, as well as links to the social media, Discord server if you want to join that, or subreddit or anything else. And yeah, that's it. Thanks again for watching, I'll see you next time. Have a great day, bye!